by the quiet lakes of Hangzhou, tea leaves swirled gently in porcelain cup, telling stories only the still could hear. Tonight, we float along the peaceful waters of Hangzhou, China, in the Song Dynasty, where an old tea master taught people how to listen to their hearts through the leaves. Master Wen, a weathered man with eyes like polished stones, sat behind a counter piled high with tea bricks and porcelain cups. His small shop was tucked away from the world, but those who found it never forgot what happened there. For in this humble abode, amidst the aroma of brewing tea, dreams were deciphered, hearts were soothed, and worries evaporated like morning mist. One day, as the sun casts long shadows through the paper window, a merchant burst through the door, his face creased with worry. "Master Wen," he cried, "my ships are sailing empty. My goods are gathering dust, and my family's rice bowl is getting bare. Please help me, Master Wen." He sank into a chair, defeated. Master Wen nodded understandingly. "Come, sit with me for a while," he said, pouring hot water over a clump of tightly curled green tea leaves. The merchant watched as the leaves unfurled and floated listlessly in the stream of boiling water. "Tell me, merchant," asked Master Wen, his voice as soothing as the steam rising from the pot, "have you ever heard the tea leaves speak?" The merchant shook his head, too troubled to understand the old man's riddles. "When the tea is brewed correctly," Master Wen continued, oblivious to the merchant's distraction, the leaves will dance after they cool. Each twirl and swirl holds a message, a vision of what is yet to be. Intrigued, the merchant leaned closer to the table, trying to see if the leaves had spelled out his fortune in their silent language. But all he saw was a jumbled mess, a chaotic ballet with no discernible meaning. As Master Wen poured the fragrant tea into 2 cups, he explained, "The art of reading tea leaves is not about predicting the future, but about revealing what lies within your heart. Your worries, hopes, and dreams are written in the language of swirling leaves. All you need to do is learn to read it." The merchant, though skeptical, decided to give it a try. He took a deep breath, trying to still the turmoil in his chest, and focused on the dancing leaves. At first, he saw nothing but random movements, until, suddenly, miraculously, the leaves formed an image so clear it brought a smile to his face. It was a bird taking flight. Hope fluttered in his chest as he looked at the bird-shaped leaves floating in his cup. The merchant felt as though a heavy fog had lifted from his eyes. He understood now why Master Wen had asked him to drink the tea. It was not just a way to calm the body, but also the mind. And as he sipped the sweet liquid, he realized that the answer to his problems was unhidden in the stars or whispered by fortune-tellers, but resided within him, in his own ability to find peace. When the last leaf had danced its silent dance, and the bottom of the cup glistened with remaining moisture, the merchant knew he had found more than just a solution to his problems. He had discovered a new perspective on life, one that didn't rely on external circumstances, but on the strength of his inner spirit. As he rose to leave, he bowed deeply to Master Wen. "Thank you," he said, his voice filled with gratitude. "You have shown me that the answers I seek are within me, and that sometimes all it takes is a cup of tea and a clear mind to find them." And so the merchant returned to his life, not as a defeated businessman, but as a seeker of wisdom, forever changed by his experience at Master Wen's humble tea shop. The tale spread like wildfire through the small town, attracting many curious locals and travelers alike to come and experience the magic of the whispering tea leaves. One breezy afternoon, a young woman entered the shop. Her steps were light, her eyes bright, and she carried with her the fragrance of 1,000 blooming flowers. Her name was Yu, and she was known throughout the land for her exquisite beauty and gentle heart. She had heard about Master Wen and his wondrous tea, and had come to see if the stories were true. As she sat down opposite the old man, she noticed the faint smile playing on his lips and the twinkle in his eyes. "Ah, you have heard the tales, too," he said, his voice a soft rumble like distant thunder. "But can you see the truth behind the legend?" Intrigued, you poured the steaming tea into her cup and watched as the leaves began their silent symphony. She closed her eyes, focusing on the rhythm of their dance. And when she opened them again, she gasped. In her cup, she saw not just leaves, but a vision of her future. The swirling patterns showed her a path of happiness and fulfillment, a journey that promised both challenges and rewards. When the tea grew cold and the leaves settled, you understood. It was not the tea leaves that were whispering, but her own soul. The visions she had seen were not predictions, but possibilities, a reflection of her dreams and aspirations. With newfound clarity, she thanked Master Wen and left the shop, feeling lighter, her steps surer, her heart full of hope. As she walked away, she could feel the weight of the world lifting from her shoulders, replaced by a sense of purpose and determination. Meanwhile, back in the cozy tea shop, Master Wen watched you disappear down the street, a knowing smile on his lips. He had seen many souls come through his door, each carrying their own burdens and seeking their own answers. And while some had come to find solutions to their earthly problems, others had come to discover the wonders of their own hearts. Now, let's meet our third character, the painter. One crisp autumn morning, a renowned painter wandered into the shop. His name was Li, and he was famous throughout the land for his breathtaking landscapes and portraits. However, lately his brush had been idle, his colors dulled, and his art lacked its usual vibrancy. As he sipped the tea, he shared his struggles with Master Wen, who listened patiently, his gaze steady and wise. When the time came for Li to read his tea leaves, he did so with a mix of curiosity and skepticism. Could these withered leaves really offer him guidance? As the leaves swirled in his cup, he saw not images or symbols, but a sudden burst of energy. It was as if the very essence of his being was awakening. He felt a surge of inspiration, a rekindling of the passion that had driven his art from the very beginning. With trembling hands, he reached for his brush, eager to put the whispers of the tea leaves into paint. On his canvas, colors danced and blended, forming a masterpiece that captured the very soul of nature. It was as if the tea had unlocked something within him, allowing his talent to shine through with renewed vigor. And so the painter continued his work, his heart filled with gratitude for the old tea master who had helped him find his way back to his art. As the years passed, the stories about Master Wen and his magical tea spread far and wide, bringing countless seekers of wisdom and solace to his doorstep. Whether they came to find answers, escape the noise of the world, or simply enjoy a cup of fragrant tea, all who visited were touched by the old man's quiet wisdom and the enchanting whispers of the tea leaves. One evening, as the sky blazed with the colors of sunset and the gentle breeze carried the scent of blooming lotus, Master Wen sat alone in his shop. The tea leaves had finished their silent song for the day, and the old man's heart was filled with a deep sense of contentment. He looked out the window at the placid surface of West Lake, its rippling waters reflecting the sky above like a shattered mirror. As the twilight deepened and the fireflies began their evening dance, Master Wen closed his eyes, letting the memories of the day wash over him. He thought of the merchant who had learned to trust his own instincts, the young woman who had discovered her inner strength, and the painter who had rediscovered his passion. A faint smile touched his lips as he recalled the stories they had shared, their hopes and dreams, their struggles and triumphs. For in their tales, he had seen glimpses of himself, his own journey through life, and had recognized the timeless wisdom that had guided him all along. With a newfound sense of purpose, Master Wen got up from his chair and walked towards the counter. He picked up a fresh pot of tea, its aroma filling the shop with a warm embrace, and poured a steaming cup for himself. As he drank the fragrant liquid, he knew that he was not just enjoying a simple brew, but partaking in a tradition that had been handed down to him by countless ancestors. But the real magic lay in the sharing, in passing on the knowledge and wisdom they had revealed. And so Master Wen continued his work, brewing tea, sharing stories, and guiding those who sought his help to find their own path to enlightenment. For he knew that the true art of tea tasting lay not just in the perfect blend of leaves and water, but in the harmony it brought to the heart and soul. And with that, dear audience, we reach the end of today's tale. And who knows, maybe someday our paths will once again align in another captivating story. Until then, stay curious, keep exploring, and remember, the most exquisite moments often unfold over a simple cup of tea.